Hey there folks, game 2 between HeroMarine and dTefel. I'm pretty sure it's just pronounced that way. I don't think it's like dTefel. I'm sure it's supposed to be silent. And it might even represent dig. But regardless, it was a pretty interesting game 1. Just this massive roach bulk out of the zerg player that was scouted and then fairly convincingly defended, I thought, by HeroMarine there. Got the tanks out, got the bio, got the stim, got the medevacs, and trounced over it. We'll see if this game is any different. Last game we saw a pool first out of dTefel on a 4-player map, which I was pretty surprised about. Generally, Zerg players love those giant maps. You can hit that huge macro swing. But we saw HeroMarine actually take 4 Hellions and get 11 worker kills with his initial 4 Hellions, and that was just... Maybe that's what prompted dTefel to just go all in on roaches. Say, I gotta push now, when I don't think that necessarily had to be the case. This map, a little bit of a faster rush distance, really fun cheese map as well. Super easy for Terran to proxy units over here. Reapers obviously going up, any type of Banshees going up, and a lot of times the Overlord movement from the Zerg player isn't going to take them around this area of things. Terran player did go very early command center on that last game. I'm not downloading too much porn or something. This computer is like mega tits, and it's strange to see it kind of lag a little bit. I think this is just the confidence of HeroMarine to be able to go up for this once again. And at the same time, we see dTefel on the other side going slightly less economy. That super greedy play from HeroMarine allowed him to just get up this giant worker lead. So essentially, all he had to do was hang on long enough and he would win. I used to do this strategy a lot. This was my go-to build for a while as Terran, until I started running into a lot of Zerg players. There's like a specific moment in the metagame where a lot of Terrans on the lower league ladders that I was playing in were doing this, and then you just have Zerg players, you know, 6 pooling and then running over you. The only person I've ever seen hold off from a build like this and then still essentially win against a 6 pool is Flash. And I like to think I'm pretty good, but I'm not Flash good. Queen's on the way. Scout is out for the Terran player. I don't know. I gotta maybe get back into doing a little bit more of this economic opening. I've been getting pretty good at multitasking my economy as I'm playing these games. And my, good buddy Ilmatix, who is playing essentially in the Bronze League, there's even more macro focused than I am, because I prefer to cut a little bit of my early economy to go for early damage. It keeps you safe against somebody else doing the similar kind of build strategy, and you usually can expand extremely safely behind that. So you'll see me usually go for the Reaper Hellion opening on one base before I can safely expand. Sometimes you just win from it, and other times it lets you transition very well into the later stages of the game. And it might also be because I love playing mech, and mech is one of those things that takes so long to transition into and build up that really strong economy and that strong macro presence. I like getting that pressure just to make sure that my opponent doesn't run away on me. Looks like we're going to see a faster third base this time out of dTefel. Last game he went up to that 4 gas layer tech into that roach all in essentially. On this game we see he's only just taken his first gas now. So a completely different style of opening from dTefel. And for the same instance, we actually see a different variation from HeroMarine. He's actually going to be going into the double barracks instead of the 3rd command center. And this is the super standard metagame right now for Terran. Is either you go 3 command center 1-1-1, or you go 2 command center 3 barracks, and then get that factory tech out as well. A bit safer. This map is a little bit of a shorter rush distance. So maybe that's just the way he wants to do it. Or we're going to see some really interesting pressure here out of the Terran player. Maybe build up a really nice bio ball, and then push out with his Hellions with maybe 12 Marines and try to cancel this 3rd base. Looks like dTefel doesn't want to suffer again to that kind of Hellion run by, so he's going to try a bit of a wall off here at the front. A little bit easier to wall off this map than it necessarily is to wall off on Whirlwind. First two Hellions out, going to come over here and scout the timing of this third base. He's going to understand pretty well what kind of opening he went up against with. That should either prompt him into going for his own command center pretty soon, or, in this case, we actually have a starport and double reactors. I don't want to call this the flash build, but I kind of want to. He was the first person I watched do this kind of opening, where essentially he's going to be able to pump out tons of Marines. He's already got his reactor set up for his his starport there to be able to get out all of his medevacs. Pretty good creep spread start here. Not a lot of creep tumors. Should be enough though, just to be able to keep him fairly safer. He is moving into roaches. In this kind of high macro play against the Terran, I generally see those roaches as I'm not going to say a scared kind of play. It's just super safe. You'll see people like Startail Life almost never get roaches in their composition against Terran unless they're getting slaughtered by Reapers and stuff. Just because it's such a big cost on your minerals and even into your gas there, when you'd rather be teching up faster into your mutas. Pretty good production back at home here. Tech lab going down on the factory here, so I wonder if that's going to be for tanks as opposed to Widowmine play. Now I want to see what the extent of vision was there. He didn't see a third command center, but he also didn't see all those extra barracks. We see a few more roaches on the way and an infestation pit. Really fast infestation. I wonder if that's going to be for swarm hosts. Once again, here's that bio push I was talking about with the backup of the Hellions. It looks like dTefel's just not interested in getting Lings in general. Baneling style just maybe isn't what he feels comfortable with. Stim pack is finished for the Terran. This is actually a really nice timing. I like this build a lot. 12 more roaches on the way. Gonna start popping pretty soon. I don't think he's gonna be able to get a cancel on this hatchery though. He's gonna get a lot of damage in, but there's enough roaches, I feel, that he should be able to... Nice pickup there on that one Marauder to move him to the back. The Marauders are obviously dealing most of the damage against any of these here roaches. The things seem to be moving really fast here, is it just me? Maybe it's just this baller computer that I'm working with right now, because it's on the right speed setting. Just getting a little bit more damage off on the hatch there. I think it's worthwhile. This medevac's just running around being a bit of a dick. And this is what you can do when you have really pro-level micro, is just be a total jerk to your opponents. He's gonna try and keep that one Marauder alive and dance around to... No way. Oh, I did lose it! 15 HP. Did he lose that on the medevac too? I think he did. Pretty nice little army. I do like that he's moving into tanks. I think this is just HeroMarine understanding the way the metagame is shifting. And knowing that soon it's going to be a bigger focus on mech as opposed to just bio Widowmine. And maybe it's just because he knows that his opponent dTefel here doesn't go for Ling Baneling. And Widowmines aren't going to do as well. Pretty big roach ball. A little bit on the supply block side for both players right now. It's a lot of roaches. Oh, nice fungals. I'm kind of surprised he just abandoned that position so readily. But at the same time, this is a pretty monstrous amount of units. I do like the mix-in of the early Infestor play, and even with Hydras behind this. The Infestors are just really versatile. Sometimes you can just pull it off and it's just going to give you like huge dividends. Be kind of sucky to have this have to lift up with fresh mules down here. But I don't think he could have expected dTefel to just completely allow that to happen unpunished. Interesting position for this fourth base here. Particularly when these 3 bases cover this back base pretty well. Sending down, at least 1 or 2 roaches early on to start breaking that down, I thought would be nice. But dTefel probably feels pretty far ahead at this point, though. Honestly, I don't think it's as far as maybe it seems. Terran have this really amazing ability to just last, even on 2 bases. It's always been that way, even in Broodlord. If you've just got 2 bases and good tech and good macro, you can do pretty good as a Terran player. Protoss is fairly similar in that extent as well. You don't need to get that 3rd base down. If you're playing mech, that 3rd base is pretty important. If you are playing bio, not necessarily so. Another really nice fungal there. Trying to get some splits here out of HeroMarine. I think there's just too many units here, overwhelming. And I think if he can't hold this 3rd base, nice tank positioning here in the back though. It's pretty smart from dTefel here. He's not overcommitting into these tanks. Taking just a little bit of a back step here. Once this Hydra range is done, it'll help him out a fair bit. Just nice, slow, methodical play here out of HeroMarine. Just trying to stay alive as long as he can. But dTefel, as we saw, is just a pretty big beast when it comes to pushing out tons and tons of roaches. He's got lings in here with no speed. Not too often you're going to see no speed on lings at the 16-minute mark, unless you just don't care for ling play. Tons of bunkers down and in place here. Might as well. I mean, just keep yourself alive as long as possible. The DPS of these Hydras, though, is just going to chew through these units. We see that HeroMarine just can't really build up that really good supply amount. What are the kills on these tanks? 10 kills, 15 kills. Against Roach Hydra, that's a pretty good kill amount, right? If it's against Zerglings, I'd say that'd be pretty bad. That's probably going to be GG here from HeroMarine. Yeah, there it is. Still pretty happy with this play, though. I loved the micro he showed early on. Just great timing from dTefel to come back with that roach ball and put on that pressure. If he waited a bit longer for the Terran to get up this position, think that the game would have been very, very half and half. But I think he just attacked at the right time. Series is now tied up, 1-1. Game 2 coming right back at you.